Welcome, everybody. Hooray. Happy inquiry time. Lovely to see familiar faces. Okay, let's start with this quote. This is from Loving What Is. If you aren't completely comfortable in the world, do the work. That's what every uncomfortable feeling is for. That's what pain is for. What money is for. What everything in the world is for. Your self-realization. It's all a mirror image of your own thinking. Judge it, investigate it, turn it around, and set yourself free if freedom is what you want. It's good that you experience anger, fear, or sadness. Sit down, identify the story, and do the work until you can see everything in the world as your friend. Your work is not done. So again, if you aren't completely comfortable in the world, do the work. That's what every uncomfortable feeling is for. That's what pain is for, what money is for, what everything in the world is for, your self-realization. It's all a mirror image of your own thinking. Judge it, investigate it, turn it around, and set yourself free if freedom is what you want. It's good that you experience anger, fear, or sadness. Sit down, identify the story, and do the work until you can see everything in the world as a friend. Your work is not done. So maybe never done. All good. No wrong way to do it, that's for sure. No wrong way to be. So let's see if somebody has a Judge Your Neighbor worksheet. Maybe you're ready to jump right in. So just see, and we'll start at the very beginning. Just open to whatever has been here that's been painful. Deborah, yes. Let's make sure to get you in. There you are.
I don't have one written out today. I've written many, but my heart is calling for help.
Beautiful. Let's do it.
Is that okay if you work with me? I kind of know
Yes.
the drill, but I don't have it written in front of me.
That's okay. Let's explore. We'll see what happens. No worries. Yeah. So tell us what's on your mind that's disturbing.
So I'm going to go to the core. I'm going to be so brave. I've been following you, Grace, and I so appreciate you. And I appreciate this work. But anyways, I'm going to go to the core. I feel like a victim in my life. So victimization is the thing that I really want to work on. But what happened is I got floxed with some antibiotics, which means that I took some black box antibiotics and then I got very, very sick. The last 2 years, I have been trying to get healthy, even though I've had a lot of setbacks, and I keep on getting setbacks in front of me where I have to have now teeth done. And I've always viewed the world as a scary place that has hurt me because of a lot of post-traumatic stress that I've had in the past. And from being a child, I realized that I probably have victimization feelings, even though it's what I abhor the most. It's what I'm ashamed of the most, because being a victim in our world is not something that anybody wants to be or anybody wants to be proud of.
Yeah, I get it. Okay. Well, thank you for jumping in. So an amazing underlying belief. We can go with it, and it might seem kind of wide and big, but the world hurt me. There's that childhood experience, but also there's these antibiotics that happened, and damage, hurt. I bet you everybody can find that in those situations. The world hurt me. And just let yourself go into that and feel that. The world hurt me there. Okay. So noticing, seeing the images that you're seeing, that you've just mentioned, maybe even more, but there's childhood, medicine that hurt you, condition of the body. If the world hurt you, is it true?
No.
Hmm.
I think of, there's been, Grace, there's been a lot of abuse in my life, both physically and emotionally. So I want to say yes. I really want to say yes, but I see how I allowed it.
Hmm. Okay. Even just that little crack of doubt. And if anybody had a yes answering this question, just as you follow along, okay to ask, is it absolutely true? Is it absolutely true? And it's all right if that is a yes. There is no right answer. Okay. So what happens when you think the thought, Deborah, the world hurt me?
I get angry. I get tremendously fearful, so fearful that I can't live my most vibrant life. I feel like when I'm asking for help from doctors, they're there to hurt me rather than to help me. I feel as though nothing is safe. There's no safe place to be or go. It feels hopeless. And let me see what else comes up for me. I feel defensive and under attack. So it makes me want to strike back, but at what, I don't know.
Okay. And how do you treat yourself? Just look at you. You don't even have to use the word victim if it's got a lot on it. Just see on this small, see how you see yourself when the world hurt you.
Most of the time, I'm getting better. I really am getting better as I do the work. But most of the time, I beat up on myself. I'm as cruel or mean as anybody's ever been, or more cruel than anybody's been, because I feel like if I'm angry at myself, then maybe I'll snap out of it and be that happy, vibrant person that I've been in I've been in certain times in my life. Yeah.
Okay. So anything more? Just be with it. See where you feel it in your body.
Now I'm really trying. It really has. I mean, on the positive side, I have seen that I am getting more loving and tender. I am I guess I'm really trying to navigate the word victimization. I took it on only after doing a lot of work on potentially anger and fear and thinking, what makes a person a victim compared to what makes a person a victor? Like if we feel like things have happened to us, that I guess, what else do I feel? Or what else do I do? I play small. I feel stuck.
Hmm.
I don't know how to move forward and trust.
Okay. And images of that future, like what it's like if I don't know how to move forward and I'm stuck. The world hurt me before.
Well, the images of my future are really scary only because of what doctors are saying now with, I have a lot of neurological pain. Now I've got teeth problems. I've got some skin cancer. It just feels like I'm getting beat up physically in every way possible. So the fear of the future is that I'll be sickly in bed, unloved, unable to express my creativity. I had, I had done so much to make a difference in the world, and I feel like I've done good, but I feel like destitute and despair, and lonely
Hmm.
and shunned.
Hmm.
Because part of my belief system believes that I created this whole thing unintentionally, but
Hmm. Yeah. Just seeing all that.
that's the worst case scenario. I have better days, but I'm just being honest
Of
with.
course. Yeah. No, well, it's good. That's what this is for, just seeing. Worst case scenario. We go there. We
Yeah,
go there.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Melinda sharing in the chat. I go to my life is over. Yeah.
Thank you, Melinda.
And
I
you
mean, not
notice.
that the life is over, but for joining.
Mhm. And you notice that that the looking at the human body, it's getting beaten up. It's getting beaten up. Great words to use. Just seeing something feels like a victim around that. In some ways, if you live long enough, something's going to happen, right? But the world is hurting me as I experience those bumps and bangs and dings and cracks. Yeah. I see where it's going. Frightening. Okay. And it is useful to see sometimes, is it an image or is it happening in reality? And it doesn't mean something isn't happening here in this body. But noticing too how it finds a reason, oh, I must have allowed it, or I'm doing something here that made it happen, and that may or may not be stressful, but just watching that it comes up with ideas for how it is that I'm hurt, why I'm hurt.
Yeah, little voices shouting at me right now saying, isn't it true? Isn't it true that you caused it? I mean, that's the whole belief system of spiritual thinking right now, that we create everything.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you can feel the movement of that into, sometimes it's an opening and sometimes depends on how it feels, sometimes another blame. So, you caused it. You made it, you allowed it. Is it true? Everybody find, you're seeing something where the world hurt you, maybe physically. You did it. Is it true? Just check. We're just looking. Can you absolutely know you allowed it? You caused it?
I guess no, but it's just such a strong spiritual concept.
Okay. Mhm.
I know one time I saw Byron Katie with a woman who had cancer, and it
Mhm.
probably affected me the most. It just brought me to tears because she believed what I believe now. And that pain that you're talking about, that you're bringing up,
Mhm.
she kind of worked through it. And there was such peace in her when she realized possibly, no, she didn't create it. It's just what happened. And I saw the freedom that she had. I want that freedom, Grace.
Yeah. Well, I love noticing, when there's even a drop of blame or kind of no, oh, I know what this is. I know why this happened. I know why. And sometimes it's wonderful to know. It's like you go, oh, insight. And then, but there's still this movement into mystery. In the next second, don't know. Oh, I get something. Now I don't know, but I don't know. So just noticing when it squeezes on blame, even just a little drop. Yeah, just noticing the stress of it.
So powerful.
Yeah, you can find it. I've had, many of like watching and it seems to be just going way down this pain that I have from an injury. And I'll think sometimes when the pain goes up, if it goes up, oh, I shouldn't have done that gymnastics move. You know, I can't find, I for sure did it. Like just enthusiasm overwhelmed me and I ran and did it. And you know, who would I be without the story? Shouldn't have gone that way. Something about me. It was personal.
Wow.
Who would he be without the story? The world hurt me. The me.
I would be doing my creativity out in the world. I wouldn't be fearful. I feel like life could be heaven. I would be trusting. If I didn't feel, if I felt like it wasn't my fault, I'd be more in love with myself. I'd be more compassionate. I'd be glad to be alive and not afraid to be alive.
Noticing aliveness is here, even if the medicine happened and whatever's going on. Yeah, something very much alive. Okay, so looking at the specific situation. So just look at this one that kind of called it up. Just being there. And anyone else doing this, you see those people or that condition, or that ailment of the body. without the story that is hurting me. It's not about being in denial that something's underway. And just simply letting go of the thought, just relaxing around that knowing. Yeah, feeling what it's like between you and this, the condition and the pain, the thing we're calling pain, or the problem with the teeth, all the way back to those people, the family, without the story. They hurt me. The world hurt me. So let's turn it around. Okay, the world hurt me.
I hurt the world.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I hurt the world by not being my best self, by shrinking. I hurt the world because the world has nourished me. The sun is out, the trees are there. I've got food, I've got shelter. I hurt the world because I was born to be an empath. I was born to be joy. I was born to be who I am. And I have been focused on the upcoming fear. Sorry. Where it just feels like it never ends. And maybe I should just be happy that it never ends and that I still have a chance. I still have a chance to manifest. After I have the other things done, maybe, I have much more knowledge and I can be a bright light in the world. Like I felt like I have been at times in my life.
You can even come back to right now, like, so no waiting till this future moment to be a light, just noticing here I am alive right now, just being a light right now. Nothing special. It's okay. Yeah. I can find how I just hurt the world with my thinking or with my no energy, and it may not even be entirely true. Who knows? Seeing the world as a hurtful place. And that's so normal. Like nothing, you don't have to force the mind to not do that, because it seems like it's its job to scan the environment for what's safe or not. But the world hurt me. My thinking, my own thinking hurt me. When I'm talking about hurt, when I'm seeing things as hurtful, which would be so normal. And I'm just looking in that direction. And my thinking hurts. My thinking hurts.
I think
When I blame myself, when I see the future as dire, or like even the decay of the body or decline of the body, which will happen for everybody. When I see that as a terrible, terrible thing, or dangerous or scary. Like, maybe that's okay. When I just start, to grab it, like tighten on any of it, as with a knowing, kind of hurt myself with my thinking. Yeah, I love Eleni shared Maya Angelou. The real difficulty is to overcome how you think of yourself. Sweet. Yes. Yeah. And the world did not hurt me. And this is something to find, genuine examples that feel right, even no matter how small, because we're not in denial like, oh, I broke my arm. I'm not saying I didn't break my arm. It's just looking and seeing. So there's this condition, a situation, whatever happened, and what part of me did it not hurt? The world did not hurt me.
It didn't hurt me because, or I have a loving husband who has been by my side and is opening to me to love every day. He's even told me that when I feel like I'm a burden physically, he's even told me that if I hadn't gone through my physical things, he wouldn't have opened up his heart and his soul, and he would have stayed stuck. So it just gives him a reason for being. It didn't hurt me because I've had an interesting relationship with my son because of some of the other physical things that have happened in my past. And this has opened, my heart has opened, and my learning, my striving, my changing has opened up a stronger relationship with him. I have, because of what I've gone through, my heart is open to people. I understand and am compassionate at such a different level that I probably never, I was already an empath, but like now I'm a super, understanding, and can be a listening space where people go through other things. I was angry, but didn't know it before. I didn't ever, I'm 65, but I never expressed any of my real emotions for my whole life. I just stuffed them and stuffed them and stuffed them. And this part of my life, I'm finally looking at them, realizing, opening up, unloading things that would have never been unloaded before. I have a relationship with God now that I never had before. I wake up, in prayer and asking for help. Another thing is that I am getting better about receiving and speaking my mind instead of just holding things in and not saying something and then blaming somebody else because they didn't understand me. I'm able to finally say, hey, this is what's up for me in a really nice way, and feeling a lot more heard. I am getting better because I've had a bunch of physical things in my life. And before I used to feel like doctors were my enemy. And finally, I'm feeling like they're there to help me instead of hurt me. That's some stuff.
Love the list that pours out of you. It's like, oh, there's this example and that example and this example. The world is not hurting me. Yeah. It's helping me. Could even go that far. The world is helping me. And just turning to those examples, just all the noticing. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. It's like the world in here is the thing that I get caught in that's hurtful. Yeah, it feels painful.
how do you not get afraid moving forward, Grace? How do you, like, we're doing this and I feel relief. I feel so much better.
Uh-huh.
But realistically, when you've got a lot of medical things in front of you, and you've had a lot of things in the past that took you down, how
Yeah.
do you move into that new territory and stay there?
I mean, beautiful. I like, first, it's kind of nice to, it's a beautiful question, not have expectations for yourself to just, I'm going to stay there. Uh, Let me, I'm going to come in, it's going to come and go. I'll be there and then I won't be there and then I'll be there again. All okay. That's what I notice seems to be the way of it. And who knows, could be surprised. But you know that those images that we all have about that things that's going to happen, that's going to be, I'm going to have to contend with, won't be safe. This is a good one. I mean, everyone can find, maybe everybody find this and you can see, we'll do even a popcorn inquiry where you can just chime in and see. Everybody find an image. And Deborah, you can hold that just like you've mentioned. Yours is this physical condition and procedures and visits and whatever's happening. And that won't be safe. That's not safe. See those pictures? Yeah, Eleni. After, okay. Okay, cool. So everyone find that, something that you think I don't like. And if you want to share what you see, what you found, that's not safe. I'm not going to like that. Yeah, Anne.
So I have this tremor, and when I go to situations with a lot of people, it gets activated more so than when I'm by myself. I went to a party the other day and it felt unsafe. So that's what I'm seeing.
Really good. Yes. And you can even kind of exaggerate. There I'll be at another gathering in the future and there's the tremor happening, it's, the worst it's ever been, Anyone else want to share? There's an image that you've got. I think that's going to happen. That's not safe. Don't want that to happen. I just find it's very profound. At least it feels profound to me. I could not label it as profound, but the idea that this body will die. There'll be a death experience. Just like we all, since we're little kids, and when you first recognize, oh, people die here. Like, I wonder how old I'll be when I die. I wonder what it'll be like. I wonder if I'll have cancer. I wonder if I'll just die in my sleep. I wonder if I'll fall off a cliff. I wonder, just all this, as you gather the ways bodies die, and in some ways, this anticipation, like, how is this going to go? I wonder. I've had thoughts of like, I wonder what it will be like when my mother dies. It's going to be so sad. I feel very close to her. Just have that awareness, the seeing. It's going to come. There's that thing. I'll feel physical pain. I'll feel emotional pain. I'm nervous about it. It's not safe. Won't be safe if my partner leaves. Won't be safe if the people are looking at me. I'm just noticing. So see the picture. See the picture of something that feels like it grabs you. Maybe it's something repetitive. Here it comes. That is not safe. Is it true? Notice you get to answer the question. You're the one answering. You're the answerer.
I'm saying yes.
Awesome. I love the jumping in. It's okay. And you can share on chat, or you can just jump in like Anne did, or quiet is good too. Whatever works for you. Notice your answer. Anne's got a yes. Can you absolutely know that's true? That is not safe. Yeah, I like you nodding your head there, Deborah. Gotta know. See, it looks like a no. Can't absolutely know it. Did you have more around that, Deborah?
No, I'm just, I love imagining that I don't know. I'm picking from the past, things that have been scary, and I'm putting it in the future, making it mean that. But I absolutely do not know that things are going to work out bad or good or anything.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Yeah, Anne.
I would like to find a no, except my tremor is something that just happens. And no matter what amount of work I do, when I first started doing the work, I thought maybe if I get to the bottom of this and get to the bottom of my anxiety, and the tremor will melt away, and I'll be good. And that hasn't happened, and I don't think it's going to necessarily happen. I think that's a lot of pressure to put on myself. So I mean, the way I could get to a no is that the next time I'm invited to a party, I either don't go, or I say to myself, okay, I'm going to go for a little while and then make a fast exit, or something like that. Yeah, so it's I don't know really what to say about.
Yeah. Well, I
command.
love that. That is a fabulous thing to bring up. It's like just watching the way that I'm like, what wouldn't that be great if it was a no? Wouldn't that be fantastic if I could answer no to that question? And yet, if I'm really truthful and honest here, it's a yes.
Mm.
Let's just say, let's just be with that yes. Just be with the yes. No need for it to get to a no. Like we think, oh, it'll be better if I could answer no, if I could feel no and stand on no. Can you absolutely know it's true? Maybe this anticipation is okay, or like, maybe it's going to be it will be really amazing. Who knows? I don't like just that the mind does that. It's able to project into the future. It's what it's wondering about. It offers up ideas. So I can find, I like my mind is kind of aware and gathering and looking and saying, wow, it's pretty amazing to be alive. I don't know about leaving. Strange to not know, or I'm just not so sure about this tremor thing. Maybe I'll never be. maybe my thinking will never be so sure about that. So I love that you brought that up. Yeah, can we be sure? I need to get to a no, and that would be more comfortable. What happens when you think it, just the thought? Yes, no, whatever the answer is. That won't be safe. Unsafe. How do you react? I mean, notice the images.
I project myself into the future, and I feel my body shaking, and
Mm.
then somebody offers me a drink or something to eat, and I either can't accept because my hands shake so much, or I accept, and everybody sees my hands shaking, and everybody's like, oh, or that's what my imagination tells me, that I am unacceptable. Somehow in the future, I am unacceptable.
I love the seeing what's unsafe here. Wow, this kind of division between me and others, and I'm not acceptable here, and there's gasping.
Yes.
Yeah. Great moment to hold, like push the pause button right on the gasp. Seeing all that, right? Yeah. So watching that image, not safe. Yeah, Melinda sharing, I feel so vulnerable for people to see my physical limitations. Yeah. And just watching the sense of danger, whatever we're seeing here, not safe, dangerous.
It's funny, Grace. It's funny because, Anne, as you were speaking, you were a good mirror for me, a perfect mirror. And I'm so glad that you really shared from your heart. Thank you. But I also thought to myself, gosh, I'd like to get to know her, tremor or not. She seems like such a beautiful woman. So that's a good mirror for me, because I feel what you feel for different reasons. And maybe people don't see that in me, even though I want to explain why I might be limited in certain ways or frightened in certain ways. Maybe they just see, like I saw in you, something beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Deborah. I feel like there's something inside that's brewing, but I don't have words to put on it right now. So,
I just thank you for speaking up. Meant a lot.
thank you.
So good to see what the fears are, these other people are seeing, and whatever they're doing, gasping, and just to feel the pain of that. And then noticing, I might not even notice if I was not the person, like just aware, like, how interesting. So holding that world is dangerous. I won't be safe. There. That's not a safe situation. Sometimes I've seen that with my kids. They won't be safe. Images.
Sometimes, I'm sorry, Grace.
Okay.
Sometimes people who are close to me say, Anne, you're so much more than your tremor. And I feel like my tremor has been with me since I was 8. And it's been such a determinant of what I would do and what I can do and what I can't do and what I will try to do and what I won't try to do, because I'm afraid of ridicule and I'm afraid of being ostracized. But when people say this to me, that I am more than my tremor, I say to them, really? It's like, I can hardly believe it. But what you just said, Deborah, reminds me that other people don't even notice it sometimes, or don't remember that I've had an incident of tremoring. And and in all of this, I have the feeling like, I am making myself, well, first of all, I'm taking other people and situations way too personally, and that I'm making myself way too important, and yet the anxiety for the tremor is there. And when I'm in a company of other people, especially people I don't know well, the anxiety is like driving me. So I don't know how to get over myself. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. If we knew how, we would have done it by now. And maybe there's some part of us that's supposed to not be getting over ourselves. Like, we're in a brain was installed here in this particular body, and it's doing its work. Yeah, but thank you. So just watching how we react, noticing, and flashing on, wow, I've taken it so seriously, and I get that other people don't, and holy smokes, what a look at this experience. So everyone, you see what, the wonderful sharing that's happened, and also what you're looking at as you see as that is not safe. That is not safe. Who would you be without that thought? Without that thought, it's for sure not safe. And you don't have to go all the way to, I'd be out of my mind, I'd walk right off the cliff if I didn't know. Like, that something would be crazy about it. It's just finding a little, this openness, just kind of turning a different direction. There's that world happening with physical ailments and people and conditions that change and move and do what they do. They're there, they're not there. And who am I? Who am I without the story?
I think I'd be more open-hearted. Like people say to me all the time, everybody has something, that they're carrying, or that's a condition or whatever. And I just like, I let go of my perfectionism. I'd really like, I'd steep in compassion. I don't know. Yeah.
Lovely. Yeah. Like I've even that little kind of trailing off with the words, I don't know. I don't know. Who would I be? I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah. Without the story, that is fundamentally unsafe. Who are you? Quite interesting to be sitting in that, I don't know, right? I don't know. And that's different than, oh, I know, that's safe, that's unsafe. Gotta be careful over there. I just don't know. I really don't know. Oh, I wish I knew. Oh, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I like Moira saying, I would be much more relaxed. Yeah, much more relaxed. Much lighter. I notice that feeling too. Just lighter. Like, wow, how are things set up here? Things happen, good things happen, bad things happen, planet Earth. Who knows what's going to be happening today? I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know. Julia, I would be more available to support those around me who I perceive as making me feel unsafe, but who are also suffering in their own thoughts. Yeah. Yeah, there they are doing what they do. Don't you love it? Without the story, that's unsafe to be around them.
Mm.
And maybe you move away, or maybe you do this, maybe, but just I don't know. I don't know. I'll show up. So my thinking is unsafe.
Mm. Mm.
And really important to do that without blame, because we've heard a lot of the mind, the way it goes into, oh, it must be something I'm doing, or maybe wow, I let it happen, or just whatever. Just, I don't know. But my thoughts, they get moved or oriented towards lack of safety. They just do that. There go my thoughts.
Mm.
And am I my thoughts? Because those come and go and change and move around all over the place. And what's here without thinking? Something's here without thinking. When we go to sleep, that's there. But here's my thoughts. My thinking looks at lack of safety and becomes unsafe. It's doing what thought does. No blame in it. My thinking is unsafe. Good that I know that, but it just orients towards lack of safety. It's just kind of nice to see it, because I'm like, oh, I don't have to be in denial or try to do something, but just, oh yeah, there it is. It's doing its job. Lack of safety gathering, saying for me to be careful, like a really, hyperactive grandmother or something. But you find your own examples. My thinking's unsafe in this situation. Unsafe thinking. And that same thinking, or something about the way it is from me to that, like there's the energy, this thing that I'm calling unsafe. Could I be that towards whatever it is I'm perceiving as unsafe? Kind of like Julia just mentioned, there's those people and I decide that they're making me feel unsafe. And it's just noticing what happens there, and no wrong, no blame in it, but just seeing, oh, when I'm looking at that as a really unsafe thing, when I look at death as being very, very unsafe, when I look at body decline as being very unsafe,
Mm.
it might be, just the focus, kind of keeping it, or just what will happen to my kid, unsafe. I might be bringing some lack of safety to the situation. least how I'm seeing it. Maybe when I'm looking at those doctors is so unsafe, Deborah, you know, coming in with a little bit of a defense thing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Anne.
My thinking is unsafe because it projects into the future. It takes from the past and projects into the future, and you know, it's all illusion. It's not here and now. My thinking is unsafe because it keeps wanting to pull me out of the present.
Yes. Isn't that a great thing to see? And fun to see that the past is too. And it doesn't mean it isn't important. I don't have memory. I mean, we like memory. You know, and it's also not real anymore. It's not, you know, it's, if you looked in a basket of memories, you'd see nothing. It doesn't mean they don't affect us. They're just amazing, the mind, amazing. Genius, you know. So just finding those examples, a living turnaround of how it's not unsafe, it's safe. What is safe that I can kind of know, like it's safe to be sitting in this chair in the moment, if that's all you can come up with, you know. And then move towards the situation. You know, it's safe to be in the building. It's safe to meet somebody and talk to them. It's safe. Just seeing one little step at a time that's genuine for you. It has to be genuine. This feeling of safety. Can't be like, I'm going to make up that it's safe. Oh, I should see that it's safe. If you don't, just holding safety. Noticing how something is still here no matter whatever's happened to us. Something's very persistent. We're very resilient.
Heartbeat.
Heartbeat.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah. The things we think, oh, that just killed, like you, I can hear my language is like, oh, that just killed me.
Mhm.
It didn't, you know, very dramatic. Oh my God, that was the worst thing. It was so hot. These 5 things, the worst things that ever happened. Well, here I am. Yeah. Something very resilient. So something is safe.
I want to share. So for me, what's unsafe and that I wanted to bring up was victimhood, people who are believing in victims, themselves as victimhoods, and the concept of someone else making me feel a certain way. Like whenever I hear anyone talking like that, I just feel so unsafe. I'm like, well, that's a person I'm not going to associate with. Someone who believes that I can make you feel a certain way or that she made you feel a certain way, like that, to me, it's like red light, not safe. You are not a safe human to hang out with, to be around.
Don't you love it? It's like, since they're saying that, they're making me feel, and I got to get away.
Yeah. And I saw the turnaround, that people basically, the concept is people who believe their thoughts are not safe. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
basically the concept. And I don't depend on other people's thoughts for me to be safe. And I don't think I ever have. I just believed I did. And so that really kind of cleaned up my own victimhood there. Because if I think that you shouldn't believe that I can make you feel a certain way, and if you do, then I'm not safe, then I'm no different.
Right.
And then I'm a victim to your thoughts, and then with the speak goes on. So
Yes. It's a great one. Yeah. Don't you love that? Right. Yeah. Right when I am doing whatever it is, I love that as a just perfect, that beautiful example of like, however I'm seeing it is how, if it's coming at me, I'm doing the same thing in that moment, just in a different angle, but same. Yeah.
And here's what's interesting to me is that I'm picking one emotion to go after and unlearn. And I wanted to go after anger or fear. But somebody told me, Deborah, you say, this happened to me, this happened to me. And that's victimization on a very, very core level. And I find it interesting that your name is Radiant Light Being. And I have not wanted to claim victimization for as long as I've lived. I've wanted to take responsibility and do all that. However, today or yesterday, I actually said, I'm going to be brave and go to the core of what I think my mind is saying underneath all the anger and fear. And so it's really interesting to hear the two mirrors, like one mirror, you know, who I could see her beauty, and another mirror saying, don't say victim. That's like, forget it. That's the worst. And I agree, ironically, but yet I decided to try it on because it made me cry when I thought the word.
So
Even
sweet.
though I said, no, that's not me. No, that's not me. No, that's not me. It still made me cry to think, well, maybe somewhere in me, I do believe that.
It's kind of sweet. It makes me think of the turnaround to number 6. You know, I am willing to be a victim.
It sucks. Yes.
Just willing to be a victim. Willing to do that. No wrong. Noticing. In some ways, the mind loves that position. It's okay. Let it do what it does. I
And
even look forward to it.
I have to say for that, one thing that I found is part of the reason why I so strongly believed my thoughts and was ego identified, and I'm ego identified, is because I so badly didn't want to be a victim growing up as a kid. That was one thing I wasn't going to be. I was going to be strong. And because of that resistance, the identity persisted and persists. And so I am willing, and I look forward to milking the F out of my victimhood.
And you're radiant light. And I want to be that. I mean, I am that, you know, I am that. But you know what I'm saying? This is the first time in my life I tried it on. And thank you for saying that. That actually, I've been fighting it my whole life too.
Yeah. Very sweet work. Thank you, Deborah and Anne and Eleni and all the listeners just being right here with us all doing the work, walking each other home, as we say. So thank you all. Lots of love. Enjoy yourselves. Yes.
Thank you so much. That was so powerful.
Oh, you're so
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you so much,
Mm,
Deborah and Ann. Thank you for your courage.
mhm.
You
Yeah.
really helped me today.
Love you, Melinda, even though I can't see you. I love you.
Love you too. You'll see me soon.
Okay.
It's early.
Lots of love, everyone.
That's a love.
Bye.